New reporting from Axios reveals the Republicans' House campaign arm will begin accepting contributions in cryptocurrency. Wow, that's, cryptocurrency and things like Bitcoin continue to just be approved by all of these governing bodies that really qualify it as an actual way to conduct business. It's just wild.
Yeah, I think the FEC is actually working on like a 2014 guidance. Like they're still in 2021 working on a 2014 guidance when it comes to crypto and when it comes to Bitcoin and election contributions. But I mean, I don't work on elections and I don't work in in crypto. I'm curious, Colin, what you think this means for fundraisers. Do you think fundraisers are going to start actually actively courting Bitcoin donations, or is this something that's just, because there are obviously advantages to that, but is this something that is actually just going to be what they deal with? More people want to donate with crypto, therefore they're just going to have to sort of figure out how to accept those donations, or are they actually actively going to be looking for them?
I think both, right? I think, look, these are political races and organizations tasked with trying to win campaigns, they'll take as much money as they can any way they can get it.
Yeah.
So, I think people are just holding Bitcoin and holding cryptocurrency, and they're saying, well, look, give us some of that too. We'll take it, I often think that campaigns and, the fundraising operations that support those campaigns are almost a little bit like the IRS. The question is how much you got, where is it? Because we want more of it,
Right.
And the interesting thing here is how are payment processors actually going to deal with these so that when people receive the Bitcoin donations, they don't end up holding on to the Bitcoin donation. It puts them over contribution limits, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're, federal races and even donations to the campaign arms like the NRCC and the DCCC, $10,000 is your cutoff for these in most cases. So, I guess they'd have to kind of convert that currency immediately and accept it in dollars so they wouldn't end up going over that $10,000 limit.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Is that what is happening right now with this?
I believe so. That's what, I think they're using the payment processor BitPay to immediately convert it into dollars to ensure that they're, kind of adhering to all the FEC guidelines on max contribution limits. Mm-hmm. It's a little stickier, I think, when candidates start doing it, right? Because there are just a couple of ways that you process currency, and I'm not sure, or process donations, at least on the Democratic side of the aisle, and I'm not sure they're really actually equipped to take crypto yet. And how do they deal with that conversion rate? It's a really interesting problem that somebody's going to have to figure out pretty soon.
Well, that's the thing. They're going to have to figure it out very soon because more and more people are making their money this way and keeping this money this way. And the logistics behind it are what is so interesting to me because that's going to be, there are like all kinds of ethical questions, and there are more than one. It's more than just the FEC that is sort of grappling with the ethical questions surrounding this. But I think for it's in everybody's interest to answer those questions, but then to translate those into the logistics of actually processing Bitcoin contributions. Do you have any transparency concerns when it comes to these?
I do, and I think people are often attacked in political campaigns for their donations, right? Like, the opposing candidates will take a look at their donation history and then make particular claims about where their positions are based on who's donated to those campaigns. And, cryptocurrency previously had some, kind of negative stigmas around it, right? And I wonder if campaigns are going to have any concern when they start accepting donations in Bitcoin and then all of a sudden somebody is actually busted for having done illegal transactions with that Bitcoin or been connected to some kind of scandal that was connected to Bitcoin and Bitcoin transactions. So it's just a new world and a new way for people to actually take a look at and examine where's this money coming from.
You just said something that is really important, which is this could become scandals for campaigns to then sort of prey on or exploit for campaign purposes. Yep. And that I think is absolutely down the road when it comes to this. That doesn't mean that it's a net negative. I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense. And, our institutions aren't necessarily built nimbly enough to be able to immediately adapt and answer these questions because despite being super well resourced and well funded and massive in so many cases, they aren't really nimble enough to make those responses and to adapt to new technology like this in a way that is quick and efficient and reasonable. And that's the struggle that we're seeing play out right now. But it is the way that sort of campaigns jump on and exploit scandals already when it comes to just, actual fundraising that has been happening for years and years. If somebody who did something bad gives somebody, $5,000, it becomes a campaign issue. The people will literally run ads on it. You've probably made ads on it.
Absolutely, and I've been hit with ads on it. I've been on both sides of this equation over the years.
So
and
is that going to happen with?
Oh, I think absolutely. I think it will absolutely happen, and so I'm waiting for the first Bitcoin attack ad, and hopefully we'll cover it here when it comes out, and we can reference this piece that Bitcoin attack ads were coming. Not that we need any more attack ads in life, but interestingly enough, I wonder like where's the FEC and how are they going to deal with it, considering that they're still working on the 2014 ruling. Like, did we accept the donation, and at that time our cryptocurrency was worth 10, but in the last 7 days, as cryptocurrencies volatile markets can, it's worth 15. And do they have to return the money, right? Or how are they going to deal with that? And I think it will come full circle when not only are campaigns and campaign arms and the organizations that support campaigns accepting the Bitcoin payments, but then that money is actually moving out to the different vendors and specialties that these campaigns deal with or use to kind of communicate with voters, right? So do stations start accepting cryptocurrency as well? And how are they going to deal with the tracking of that as these kind of vendor payments go out to different places? It'd be really, really, really interesting, because you could theoretically be paid in Bitcoin for a $10,000 piece of work,
right?
And you actually were paid $25,000 on that piece of work. So it's a really interesting new territory, and I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, and maybe excited to make that first attack.
I was going to say, now you know. Now you know where to look.
Exactly.
Well, this is a regulatory nightmare for the feds, but probably makes things easier for a lot of donors. But on that note, we will keep following this story. Absolutely. There's going to be so much coming down the road. But we will be back with more Rising after this.